Yo, why does the text look like that? What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for an early video here for you guys this morning, where we're going to be taking a deep dive into the early content that's already available for Vanguard Season 2, a preview of the Battle Pass, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And in case you guys missed the reports, Microsoft's president, in an interview with CNBC, did state that they would like to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo. They said, and I quote, "Great titles like Call of Duty from Activision Blizzard will continue to be available on the Sony PlayStation. We'd also like to bring it to Nintendo devices." Whether that means an actual full-fledged Call of Duty release being on PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo, or if that means bringing games like COD Mobile or a Nintendo exclusive Call of Duty to life. It's a bit unclear right now, but I've been saying this for the past couple of years. I'm like, they should have brought Blackout to the Switch. They should have brought Dead Ops Arcade to the Switch. Who wouldn't want to see that? I mean, I think Nintendo Switch is a great platform. I actually have one myself and wouldn't mind playing Call of Duty on it at some point. That'll be fun to make some videos with. Let me know how you're feeling about that down below in the comments. But before we continue with some spicy Vanguard Season 2 coverage, let's go and take the sponsor of today's video. Now, tonight's video is sponsored by Manscaped. I'm sure you've all heard of these legends by now, but they've kindly hooked me up with the Performance Package 4.0 kit, which does feature a variety of different products. We, of course, have the new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the waterproof body trimmer that's built with advanced skin-safe technology. We also have the waterproof electric ear and nose trimmer with a 360 rotary dual blade system. Manscaped also came in clutch with specialized deodorant, toner, and lotion for your friends down there. They were also kind enough to send me the Shears 2.0 kit, featuring some necessities for our everyday hygiene. Now, for a limited time, customers will receive 2 special gifts: the Sleek Shed travel bag and the High Performance Boxer Briefs. So if you're ready to take care of your friends down there like never before, be sure to use code DYNAMITE20 to save 20% off any order over at manscaped.com. Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring tonight's video. Now back to the video. Upon booting up Vanguard after the preload went live, you will now see a brand new background for the main menu of multiplayer and zombies, with of course a heavy emphasis on snow, the Alps, and the fact that, yeah, this type of environment will play a larger role during the middle of Season 2, when we end up getting the release of the Arms Race Ground War mode featuring tanks, motorcycles, the works. It's gonna be crazy, but as of now, here's what's supposed to be releasing this Monday. Some of this content though is already available right now, as we're gonna get to, but as they confirm, new maps Casa, Blanca, Gondola for multiplayer, so 2 maps available on day 1, which is great. We have the new mode Ranked Play, which is in beta, as they said, and I'm hoping that that gets some good support over the course of this year from Treyarch. And they of course mentioned Arms Race, which is the ground war mode coming likely in Season 2 Reloaded as the focus. The new Killstreak, the Ball Turret Gunner for a 12 kill streak, so it'll take you a bit to actually unlock this one. New lethal equipment, the Sticky Bomb, a grenade that sticks to surfaces before detonating. We then have new perks. We have Armory for perk 1, a direct counter perk to Engineer, and we then have Mechanic for perk 3, providing a reasonable buff to field upgrade charge time, making it a must-have for completing challenges related to them or for operators who love using them. Now, they also overhauled the way the operator menu looks here in Vanguard, and now they've organized it with our task forces. So we have Yeti, we have Trident, Hellhounds, Shadow, Barbarian, and then Sentinel. And I think it's a bit of a problem that we're not really getting a focus on Task Force Vanguard, who was the focus of the campaign, of course, and they may not actually play a role in the post-launch story until maybe Season 6 when they meet up with all these other task forces that Butcher introduced us to. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we also have new intro cinematic cutscenes for our new operators, Anna and Thomas, as you can see. Starting off with Anna, it does say Anna Drake was born in Vienna, where she enjoyed hiking and skiing in the nearby wilderness. Her pleasant life was destroyed during the Nazi invasion. The Crystal Knot program demolished her home and heritage as her family and friends were executed. Anna was taken prisoner, the last of her family alive. She bravely escaped, then joined the resistance with the O5 or OS network. Can't really see what that says, but a bit of a cliche backstory, but that's to be expected with these Vanguard characters. We then have Thomas, and as this one says, Thomas was born in New Carlisle, Quebec, to a French father and a Spanish mother. He grew up in Spain. He fought in World War I, served as a volunteer for the Mackenzie Battalion, and drove tanks in World War II. His battle experience hardened him, but only out of care for his soldiers in an attempt to send everyone back home. He loves his partner and is optimistic about returning to him after the war. So got some more LGBT representation there, as you can see, and he was a badass in the Season 2 intro cinematic, as we talked about a couple of days ago. Now, it does look like some budget was put into these new cinematic cutscenes for our operators. I definitely appreciate them putting in the effort to give us some good backstory for these new characters. However, considering we haven't even gotten an intro cinematic or a gameplay trailer for Vanguard Zombies, for Terra Maledicta that is, I do think it's a bit silly with the way the priorities work with what cinematics they do release. Kind of saw a similar issue with Black Ops 4 towards the later half of that season, and even looking at COD Mobile, which does get some beautiful cinematics, but then we often see some things that do deserve some beautiful cutscenes and they just never get them. But now when it comes to the new multiplayer map, Gondola, this one is interesting, I guess you could say. Once again, that focus on the Alps, that snowy environment. There are gondolas that you can hop onto and ride around the map, which is fairly cool. Kind of gives me Mount Yemmental vibes as well. I'm surprised they didn't actually tie this to Mount Yemmental in any way, but very similar structure to the map that we got in Season 3 of Black Ops Cold War. And as you'll see, I'm in a private match with bots, of course, using the brand new Whitley LMG. People out there are saying this is going to be meta once it does officially launch, and it's supposed to be better than the Bren, which is crazy. You can't really judge that here from this private match gameplay, but just wait until it comes out in Warzone. I'm sure people out there are going to be abusing this one quite a bit. But it's like I said back with Season 1, I just don't understand how they're supposed to build more hype for a new season when they're like, all right, here's the patch 4 days early, but then everybody's out there playing the content in private matches. I hate to be complaining, I hate to be that Debbie Downer, but gotta be honest with you guys, right? I just don't like how that works. I love when the preload goes live maybe the morning before the content releases, you know, during the evening. I think that's fair because then, yeah, it gives you a couple of hours to make sure it's downloaded, and then you can hop right into all the content live with all the featured playlists. But things are kind of being done backwards with this game, which I'm not a fan of, and obviously makes it harder for other content creators out there like myself who want to stream the start of a new season. But is there really a point when everybody out there is already playing this multiple days in advance? That's the vibe I'm getting with this, but I'm not trying to be that kind of channel being negative about everything that happens in Vanguard. That's not my goal here. I'm just being honest with you guys about what is really going on with this game. Now, I'm also happy that we didn't get a bit of a cop-out with the post-launch multiplayer maps, at least not for Season 2, because Season 1 brought us maps that were very similarly tied to the vibe of Caldera in the Pacific, and that's fine. I get that Caldera was really the focus of Season 1, so the multiplayer maps kind of followed suit with what that aesthetic was, but I'll give that a pass because I think Season 1's real focus was just the Pacific, beaches, that kind of environment. I'm just hoping that for future seasons of this game, we don't just end up getting a lot of maps that are based out of a similar environment or even areas cut out of Caldera and thrown into Ground War or 6v6. Modern Warfare did that quite a bit, where areas were cut out of Verdansk and thrown into Ground War or other multiplayer game modes, and it's fine to do it once in a while, but I think Vanguard has a lot of potential to release some unique maps that stand on their own 2 feet and have their own story that isn't all tied to just Warzone. But moving on to the next map, we have Casa Blanca, which gives me vibes of Morocco from Black Ops 4. I kind of get that vibe with the lighting and environment that we see here in this map. And we'll also be using the other new DLC weapon, which is an AR, and the AR is known as the KG-M40. And obviously, like I said earlier, because we're in bots, you can't really tell how good these weapons are, but once people out there start bringing them into pubs and bringing them into Warzone, you'll see how powerful some of these additions truly are. But notice how with Season 1 and Season 2, we only have gotten 2 maps thus far for each season, and we know the new Ground War map is coming during the mid-season update of Season 2, but don't forget, during Season 1, there was a statement put out somewhere, I forgot where it was, where they mentioned there were 3 maps coming in total to Season 1, but we only ever got 2, so did one get canceled, did one get pushed back, or they're referring to the Christmas shipment map, maybe that's what it was? But we're definitely used to, at least from Cold War, getting at least 3 to 4 maps a season, 2 at the start, maybe 2 during the mid-season update, so hopefully Sledgehammer picks up the pace with some of their post-launch support for this game and can really get things off the ground, because so far they have released some fairly reasonable updates to the game. I could definitely see they're listening to some of the fan feedback at least, but I also get the hint that they're a little bit behind when it comes to some of their DLC scheduling, and I'm not sure why that is considering how big Sledgehammer is as a studio right now. They've expanded quite a bit, so they have to be working on another game at this point. There's no way that all those studios are working on Vanguard and we still have the game in the state that it's in. There's no way. But I also want to throw this idea by you. I mean, what if performance for Vanguard keeps going lower and lower with player counts, microtransaction sales throughout the next few seasons, to the point where Activision says, why are we even going to do a Season 3, 4, 5, and 6? What if they just pull the plug on this game supports halfway through? There is no season pass guaranteeing us any updates for the game, so I wouldn't put it past them to just drop support halfway through and maybe assign Sledgehammer to something else. They could even start dropping some other minor updates in Modern Warfare 2019 to get us prepared for the sequel. We'll obviously be getting more content in Black Ops Cold War Year 2 and then Caldera Warzone Pacific, so that could happen, and they could still release other things in the meantime, even a remastered game for all we know, right? What if they end up dropping, you know, World at War Remastered or MW3 Remastered, and then along with that, cancel further support for Vanguard? I mean, anything is possible at this point, considering how crazy of a year it's been for the Call of Duty franchise. Moving on to the Ball Turret Gunner Killstreak, requiring 12 kills to earn. Does require quite a streak to unlock, of course, but this is a returning killstreak from World War II 2017, and like I mentioned in previous videos before, I expect lots of things that worked well in World War II to return here in Vanguard. I'm just shocked that really cool features like headquarters, or what else, the war game mode didn't come back in Vanguard. Maybe things like that would have came back if Sledgehammer had some more organization across all of their studios and, you know, put out a finished product. I just don't know what went wrong with this, but at this point it looks like Sledgehammer's on strike 3. I mean, World War II was off to a rocky start and needed to be overhauled after studio heads Condrey and Schofield got booted. Then they couldn't pull together COD 2020 in time, so Treyarch had to replace them and make it Black Ops Cold War. That's strike 2, and Vanguard is very easily a strike 3 in a number of different ways, so what does their future look like as a studio? Will they ever develop Call of Duty again? That's a big question mark right now. But hey, I think World War II did some great things. I had fun with that game for the most part, and I respect a lot of decisions that they made with the game post-Overhaul, so hopefully we see more of that energy from World War II 2017 here in Vanguard's post-launch season. But here's also a preview of what the new perks and equipment look like at the main menu. We have our Armory perk, use equipment faster, and we of course have the Mechanic perk, which allow you to charge your field upgrades 20% faster. And with the sticky grenade, I'm like, okay, I like the fact that they're adding little things like this, more kill streaks, more equipment, more perks. So the same thing with Cold War, where I love the idea of DLC kill streaks. It gives people that play multiplayer something more to experiment with, something more to grind for, to grind with. So I love those additions, but in Vanguard's case with more equipment, I'm like, okay, it's fine to add in more grenades, more bombs, gas, whatever the case is, but we need a trophy system. I just don't understand the decision making behind not adding one in, especially when, you know, incendiary rounds and explosions, they've plagued Vanguard multiplayer since day one, and it's gotten better with recent updates, but it's still very frustrating. If they had a trophy system, I think things would be a lot better, especially for some of the competitive modes in this game. I'm sure you guys agree with that. Let me know how you're feeling about it down below in the comments, but hey, the more the merrier when it comes to extra content. We just gotta have some more balance put into some of the overpowered additions like this. Now, what's also insane, in case you guys missed it, is reports from various scoopers that Snoop Dogg is 100% releasing in the form of both an announcer and the playable operator in Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm gonna assume it's for Season 2, and I haven't seen any images showing what he looks like in game yet, but apparently images do exist, and if I do find any, I'll link them down below in the description, but I'll keep you guys posted with whenever this does get revealed. I know he's supposed to be featured during the Super Bowl halftime show, so Snoop Dogg's living his best life right now. I mean, he was a part of Call of Duty Ghost as an announcer, but to get him as both an announcer and a playable operator in Vanguard is going to be worth every damn dollar, and will 100% be the most bought bundle in Vanguard thus far. I can guarantee you that, and I think it's cool that we'll get some more celebrity bundles at some point for future Call of Duties. I mean, who wouldn't buy Snoop Dogg? It's gonna be crazy, but as of now, not much else is known about when he is going to be releasing. I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Now, we also got a really cool preview of the Season 2 Battle Pass, some beautiful artwork there as you can see, and I'm just a bit shocked that that's the Tier 100 skin. And you just look back at the Cold War Battle Passes, there were some crazy skins added at Tier 100, and so far, Season 1 and Season 2 just haven't impressed me for Vanguard when it comes to going through all the 100 tiers to get some of these skins. Now, I predict if Vanguard does get 6 full seasons of support, I'm sure it will, but there's a chance that it might not, you never know. I'm predicting that maybe by Season 3 or 4, we'll start getting some really cool Battle Passes, but by then, is it too little too late to the point where it's like, alright, people already moved on from the game, nobody really cares anymore. I don't know if we're going to get to that point, but as you can see here, we do have, obviously, the perks, the weapons, the kill streak, all available to earn for free through the Battle Pass, and free if you saved your COD points from the previous one. It'll, of course, be, 1,000 COD points or 1,100 COD points to unlock the Battle Pass itself, and you will also get 1,300 total COD points back upon completing all 100 tiers. And with the pass itself, we have the new operator at Tier 0, we have Anna Drake, and we then have some double XP tokens, seasonal XP boost, some decent looking skins in here, but nothing that really stands out. I don't know about you guys, but nothing really strikes my attention from this Battle Pass. Based on the previews they've released so far, there's some okay looking blueprints for some of the weapons, but I don't know, I just feel like it'll take this game a little while before releasing some worthwhile cosmetics. Now, I always love how every Battle Pass for Call of Duty ends up offering some cool looking blueprint for whatever the new DLC weapon is for that season, so at least you get to enjoy what's probably going to be the meta with some of these new blueprints featured in the Season 2 Battle Pass. But I'm also assuming we'll end up getting a short trailer of sorts previewing us through a lot of this content that'll probably end up dropping tomorrow or at some point on Monday before the start of the season itself, officially at least. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the early content that's available right now in-game for Vanguard Season 2? Are you a fan of how content's been releasing for this game? And also, what are your thoughts on the actual start of the season? Do you think people out there will already be burnt out of the content by Monday, since people out there are going to be enjoying everything they could as soon as this weekend, minus the bundles of course? But also let me know how you're feeling about Season 2 Battle Pass. Really hope you've enjoyed, and see you with a podcast and more videos later today. Peace out, everybody.